Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Amber and this is Atonement. Atonement can also be understood as at one moment, and this is the process of returning to inner coherence. In this space, we are here to co-create awareness, alignment, and honest reflection, exploring the patterns and going deeper within ourselves. Through this process, we deepen our mind-body connection and open the door to real spiritual growth. So I'm so excited to be back again with another message. This one's going to be working off of our last collective message, where I felt this call to go deeper into a subset of the collective that is currently navigating some challenges within their love life relationships. And so I'm just going to be channeling a few messages here. As always, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, and we'll see where this wants to take us. So the first message we have coming out here is that it is time to actually let go of things that no longer serve you. Now is the time to actually be focusing on your career. And you may be sensing or seeing or going through a separation or divorce or a breakup in some way, shape, or form. However, if that is not pertaining to you, you might actually be seeing a lot more of that go on around you. So what I'm seeing here is there is a message coming through. This might just be for somebody, like one person or a very small set of people. But if you are seeking love, seeking a relationship, what I'm seeing is that right now is actually a really beautiful time to be focusing more on yourself. And I know that can sound like really cheesy, the typical like, oh, just go within and focus on yourself. But honestly, there's this really strong current that I'm feeling moving through you right now, where there might still be pieces where you need to focus on self-love. And what I mean by that, like I'm going to get more detailed information about this here in a moment, but what I mean by that is that being in a relationship where there's that coherent love also requires you to be on that journey within self. And what I can see is you are an individual who is doing that. So now is the time to focus on what it is that you're building. And what I'm seeing is through that process, you will continue to pour into self. And through that process of pouring into self, you're going to be creating this more coherent signal from within that will inherently then draw in and magnetize in somebody that is going to be in alignment with that. So the main message that's coming through right now is try your best not to be searching for anybody or anything outside of yourself at this moment in time. Because again, as you are focusing on self, that's all going to come together naturally. And I am feeling this, like it feels heavy. Like there's this heaviness inside of you at the moment where perhaps, oh, I see what's going on. Yeah, you're at the brink right now of closing out some cycles. We can call them karmic cycles, or we can call them just internal patterns of learning how to build love within yourself. So choosing yourself when others are not able to fully show up and choose you. And I also want to bring to the attention of where are you also needing to go deeper into yourself in terms of what I'm seeing with this collective. Okay, take this if it resonates. You are somebody that naturally ends up spending a lot of time or more time when you're with somebody, pouring into that person, doing the work to stay connected, perhaps at times maybe overgiving, self-abandoning. And what I'm seeing here is whatever relationship has just ended for you, whether again you're going through a divorce or you are going through a breakup or a separation, that this was needing to happen so that you could see where you have been playing out a similar pattern within each relationship you've been in. So as I go deeper into this, what I'm trying to say here is what I'm seeing is there is a pattern of overgiving or self-abandoning to maintain connection or to receive love. The thing about this pattern that I see is that it's actually coming from a very sweet and innocent place within you. So let's take any negative connotation out of what I just said, just in case that is landing in any sort of negative way, because it really is not. At the end of the day, we all have these patterns and they're all showing up in different ways and shape and form, and there's nothing to judge around that. As we move into a frequency of non-judgment and pure observation, we allow ourselves to view circumstances and different patterns from a lens that is neutral. And from that neutral lens with non-judgment, we allow that to actually come to the surface a lot faster than if we were still judging ourselves. So I'm bringing this up because I feel like you are somebody that has a pattern of judging yourself and feeling at times not good enough, or not feeling as if you're worthy enough. And so there may be very subtle patterns of overextending or trying to prove your worth or your value to other individuals. Now, I am predominantly picking up on the frequency of a divine feminine, but that could also tie into the divine feminine if you are a masculine, because remember, we both have both polarities of the masculine and feminine, okay? So yeah, I'm really feeling this mostly for the divine feminine collective, because I see this rebalancing taking place. And so this rebalancing is actually balancing out, I'm hearing like the last 15 to 20 years of your life, where these patterns have been playing out in a way where, oh, I see what's happening here. Okay, yeah. So as you are moving into deeper states of self-coherence, which means you are choosing to align your thoughts, actions, and words together in a consistent manner, it is naturally then going to change your vibration. It is going to put you more into coherence with your natural organic state. And those people, places, and things who have been tied and connected to you up until this point are no longer actually going to be a vibrational fit. And so just with that awareness and that knowledge, please know that as this is happening, you do not need to hold on to anything that is leaving your life. And if there are people who are suddenly pulling away from you or not wanting to speak to you, or you can feel that palpable distance between them, maybe energetically or physically, the message that I have for you here is that please try your best not to try and grasp onto that or spiral into any sort of feelings of abandonment or fear. I'm feeling this fear come up, this fear of like, oh my gosh, like if I don't try and fix this, if I don't try and maintain this, I think I'm gonna be alone. Like there's just gonna be nobody. Who am I gonna have? And I'm bringing that up because I'm hearing those thoughts come through from somebody here. And the message that I want to share from my source to your source is that you are actually making space for more aligned individuals to enter your life. And through this process, yes, there is going to be different people, places, and things that are going to fall away. And specifically what I'm seeing here on top of this is as you tap into that inner courage to allow that process, that purging, that purification to take place within you and outside of you, you are creating space for new aligned opportunities and people to come into your life. Now, one important message that I need to share around this is that it is very important for you to communicate clearly and accurately. So if there are any people that you are needing to speak your feelings to, you're needing to speak your truth to, then it is important at this time that you are doing so. This is specifically going to close the loop, is what I'm being told. If you allow persistent dynamics that have been in some form of conflict or discord to continue, then it's going to be like this white noise in the background of your field. It's going to create this, it's just, the way I'm hearing it is like this noise. Like when you turn on the TV, back in the day, I don't know if anybody does this anymore, but you turn on the TV and there's that static, and doesn't always have to be loud, but it's just enough there that it's causing this static in your field, so you can't fully hear yourself more clearly, your own signal. So again, just to reiterate that it is very important that if there is anybody in your life that is on the way out, has left, or maybe there was like prior conflict or discord with them in the past, that now is the perfect prime time to actually tie up loose ends and say whatever needs to be said with love and validating the other person's experience while also staying true to how you feel and your experience. And if the other person is not able to meet you in that same way that you were doing, then you know at least you have met it in your highest version of self and you're not repeating any patterns. So that's the other thing I want to say here too, is if you have a pattern of communicating in a way that comes across as is almost like you're the one that's taking all the blame, or the way I want to say it, and I don't want this to come across bad because we have all done it at one point in time in our journey, is I'm hearing it's the pattern of the poor me. And if you have read, I believe it's the Celestine prophecy, I cannot remember, it's been a long time, but there's these things or these dynamics that play out between human beings where we do energy pulling to one another. And it's said to be in this book, I believe it was the Celestine prophecy, the control dramas, and there's 4 of them, and one of them is the poor me. And so traditionally, if we hear that in a triggered state, we might take that personal. But if we can look at this from a neutral perspective and see, where have I been playing the poor me because I'm in my powerlessness state? And instead of stepping into that power and saying, hey, you know what, I'm not a victim here. I am the creator of my own experiences in this life. My field is doing a call and receive consistently with my environment and those around me. Where do I need to take a look within myself that I have these patterns where, when faced with conflict or dynamics where I feel like I've been hurt, that instead of just staying in my truth and being like, hey, this is how I feel, we're not projecting like, you did this to me, this is what happened in this, blah, blah, blah. It's more just like, this is how I'm feeling at this point in time. This is how I was feeling when this situation took place. And I just wanted to let you know that I forgive you. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. However you want to say it. The main thing is that however you go into closing out these loops and letting go of these people, places, and things, it's very important that you're doing it in a different way than you would have in the past. And I cannot, stress that enough. That message is coming through so strongly that if you choose a different communication pattern in closing out whatever is closing out right now, and how you would have, you are going to successfully close out that cycle that you've been in, and you're going to step into a new octave of expression of self to be able to call in all these new people, places, and things. Yeah, at the bottom of the deck we have the Chariot. So this is very much in alignment with the success that's going to come from the dedication and the self-discipline of taking accountability and responsibility for the ways in which that you've also shown up to dynamics in life that have been, maybe not at your highest expression. And that's okay. There's no shame in that. And anywhere if you might be holding shame, it's important that you have some sort of ritual or practice where you are moving that shame out of the body and anchoring deeper into self-love and compassion and grace for self, so that you can continue to move forward and really close out any of these patterns and cycles. It really is a time for you to be celebrating your accomplishments and to allow yourself to move more into the spotlight. And I know that might feel uncomfortable. So there's no point, there's no part of you that has to take really huge steps. It's more so about taking baby steps. And it'll feel easier to do so as you're closing out these cycles efficiently and properly. And so as you're doing this, what happens then when you actually speak from your heart and you move from your heart? You're aligning with your soul and not the ego. And this eventually, over time, brings you into more coherence with your highest or higher state of being, which then naturally then changes the internal structure of your being and then the entire field, which then naturally reorganizes the external and begins to call in and magnetize in and align in new people, places, and things and opportunities that feel good for you. Yes, because what we see coming out here now is the card of being optimistic, enthusiastic, creative, and energetic. Yes, this is the energy that you're being, I want to say rush. Like, I don't know why I almost said rush. I think maybe there might be this feeling within you right now where you're almost feeling that pressure, like this rush, like I've got to do this now. And just know that, of course, time is an illusion, but yes, the time is now to do this. because right now is a prime time to be going after your dreams. This is not a time to be going back into old patterns and any sort of poor me loops where it's like self-pity or hopelessness or poor me. No, it's time to say, I am not a victim of my circumstances. I am the creator of what I want to experience and how I want to move forward and how I want to be experiencing life. I can now let go and forgive and come to terms with how things have played out up until this point, knowing that I was also a main player in the contribution of how things have unfolded. It is not anything really always just outside ourselves. It really is truly us. So now is a really beautiful time to do something that expands your horizons. It is a prime frequency for creativity to take flight right now. I'm seeing this so much in the collective, and this has really inspired me to move my work into working one-on-one with women to open up and expand their creative capacity. One thing that I am very passionate about that has really changed my life over the last almost 10 years is working with healing my womb on my monthly cycle. So when those monthly cycles come up, this is a time for review. It is a time to slow down. And there's a reason why we become more emotional, because those emotions are our messengers. They are showing us what has been buried deep down inside us that we ignore all month long. And our body brings it up into our awareness. And if we stuff that back down, we are compounding emotional data, emotional density into the body, which eventually does cause discord and dis-ease. And this manifests into all sorts of different things in our body. I've seen this in many of my clients, including myself. I have cleared a lot of health issues within my own womb and different parts of my body through doing this process. So if you are interested, I am opening up one-to-one sessions to work with women monthly when that time comes on your monthly cycle to address the different patterns and emotional just sensations, feelings, patterns, thoughts that are arising with you at that time to help move this out of the way and create more space in your womb to expand and optimize and magnetize in the most aligned version of yourself and allowing you to step into that creative flow. And what this will do, and what I'm seeing here, is that this is really going to help to clear any delays that have been happening, okay? So if you've watched the very first video, I talked about how that stagnation is leading to a breakthrough, and it is. But it does require you to take action on what is currently stuck, what is sticky, what is in the way, okay? You're not necessarily blocked. It's just that there is information in the body, in the emotional body, that is wishing to be expressed, and it's wishing to be cleared, okay? So this is going to lead to sudden or unexpected good luck, manifestations coming in, and new opportunities heading into your way. And again, I want to reiterate that this is more so right now about following your passion and within yourself, clearing way within the womb. And a good way to do this is to understand some of your core wounding. So if you would like to know more about your core wounding and getting to the bottom of that, my partner and I have a really great tool where you can access this completely free. It is called the Core Wound Reading, and you can access this below completely free. There is a link that you can use to sign up. And we are also working on, well, my partner's working on specifically getting the a blueprint for you to purchase to get a deeper insight into the exact mechanics in your field about why you do what you do, how you do what you do, what's the most optimized way for you to be making money, finding love, finding coherence where you live, and all of the above. So I'm going to leave this message here for now. If you have anything that you would like to ask, please leave a comment down below and I will definitely get back to the comments. And please, as always, like, share, and subscribe on this video. The more that individuals do this, it actually helps to narrow down the collective, the energy of the collective that I am tapping into. And as we do this, eventually I'll be able to get more and more detailed information that pertains to you. So until then, I'll see you in the next video.